So this is Karame, and I am on my level 100 monk on beta named Sparkle. And as you see, I've got a bunch of pre-made gear for Mistweaver, and you can see how like the itemization based on your spec works. So it has agility like faded out, and it has intellect, and that works for most pieces. I think it's all the leather pieces, and then the neck and cape and rings and trinkets are different. Oh, and weapon. So on beta, Mistweaver is seeming pretty good right now. It's an improvement, but it's very different from how it is on live. One of the main changes is they removed how Renewing Mist works with Thunder Focus T. Thunder Focus T no longer refreshes all the Renewing Mists you have out. Instead, it makes your next Renewing Mist jump 2 additional times, so I will use it. It also no longer consumes chi. So if you saw that, my Renewing Mist there had 5 charges. Also, we have synergy with multi-strike after we cast Renewing Mist or Rising Sun Kick, which is a crane stance ability for us. Our multi-strike has a chance to reset the cooldown on it, but it only can happen once afterwards, so it doesn't like chain proc, because that would be like OP. Yeah, so like I mentioned, Crane Stance, they separated our abilities into Stance of the Wise Serpent and Stance of the Spirited Crane. I have some DPS abilities on my bars, but that's because I don't really have stuff I want to put on my bars right now. So you see Rising Sun Kick costs 2 chi and does a decent amount of damage. So you want to keep that up. Blackout Kick in Crane Stance, which I have replaced by Chi Explosion right now, because Chi Explosion replaces Blackout Kick, but you can use it in both stances, so that's kind of weird. But Blackout Kick in Crane Stance increases your crit rate after using it, but that goes away if you switch stances. And what else is different? Crackling Jade Lightning. In Crane Stance, generates chi really quickly. Like, an entire channel, which goes by really fast, will fill your chi bar. And in Wise Serpent Stance, Crackling Jade Lightning doesn't cost any mana, but it also doesn't generate any chi. I think it does less damage. No, it's the same damage. But anyway, actually, no, I think it channels more slowly, so it is less damage. That's what it seems like. The channel is like twice as fast in Crane Stance. But we still have like all the main abilities, like Renewing Mist, Uplift. Uplift now has a cast time, which sucks. Right now, it's not incredibly strong. Mine only healed me for 3k there. But you have to keep in mind the item squish and stat squish. So pools are like different. Like I'm level 100, I have 146k health and 160k mana. That's probably more than a lot of people were expecting, but it's still a lot less than we have in Mists of Pandaria currently. But yeah, Uplift right now isn't really like worth using, which is unfortunate, but I'm sure that will change by release, because you should be like interested in uplifting once you get Renewing Mist on enough targets, which you can because of how Thunder Focus T works now, and also the multi-strike synergy with Renewing Mist resetting its cooldown. So you can still have a lot of Renewing Mists out. You just don't have to rely on Thunder Focus T for that as much as we used to. So for some reason I have some things on my bars. I guess I didn't set up my bars completely right here. It should be roll here. I don't need like a second soothing mist. There we go. Okay, so Surging Mist and Soothing Mist have been buffed quite a bit. And our statue is a lot more intelligent now. While you're channeling Soothing Mist, like, you won't see it now because it's only me, but when you're in a raid, your statue will, well, here's a bug. It continues casting. It's not supposed to do that. But that's only if you, like, complete the channel. I'm pretty sure that's a bug, because that would be completely ridiculous if it stayed like that. But, when you're in a raid and you're channeling Soothing Mist, during the channel, your statue will continuously swap targets to people who need it. And so Soothing Mist can do, like, a lot of healing now. It no longer generates chi, but... oh, it seems like the server's crashing now. Alright, hi. Yeah, the server DC'd. So, as I was saying, the Soothing Mist no longer generates chi, but that's because they want us to use Surging Mist a bit more, and that's pretty good. It still works with Soothing like it had its instant cast during Soothing, and this also means that you're not wasting chi if you use like Enveloping Mist, and then with Soothing it like goes over 4 chi and you're just wasting chi. But yeah. Oh, great. So it seems like servers are pretty unstable right now because I keep getting disconnected. One thing that has changed from live is that Rushing Jade Wind, you see, generates 1 chi now no matter what, and I'm not sure if it's supposed to do that. Yeah. It says it generates 1 chi if it hits at least 3 targets, but that is not the case. Maybe it's, well, in Crane Stance it's not generating a chi, so I think it's a bug with Mistweaver Stance. Right now, it feels like there's not really any reason to go into Crane Stance. Mistweaver Stance is extremely powerful, and in Crane Stance you cannot use Soothing Mist, you can't use Uplift, you can't use Renewing Mist. You can still use Chi Explosion, but yeah. It's supposed to be like a nerf to your healing to be able to do damage, but if you're in an environment where you drop as many healers as possible, then you're probably going to be gonna want to be in Mistweaver Stance. At least that's what I think. Right now, Rushing Jade Wind and Chi Explosion are extremely powerful for us. Chi Explosion is an interesting talent for level 100, and it can consume up to 4 chi, and you cast on a target, and it heals an ally for a certain amount, and then additional amounts based on how many chi you consume. At 2 chi, causes a 60% healing over 6 seconds. At 3 chi, this healing is evenly divided among all allies within 8 yards of the target. At 4 chi, it also summons 8 healing spheres in an 8-yard radius ring around the target that lasts 15 seconds. So we have that. So I'll show you a 4 chi explosion. And see, there's all the healing spheres. And then we lost the ability Healing Sphere, and it was replaced by Detonate Chi, and that detonates all your active healing spheres. So there you go. And it has a 10-second cooldown. It only detonates for 50% of the healing that it would have given to any ally within 12 yards. So that's one thing. keep in mind. But right now I'm in the level 100 zone where people are testing like garrisons and stuff. I haven't tested that yet, but it's a very pretty zone if you haven't noticed. I haven't seen a lot of it, but it looks really good. All the new zones look amazing. Our alternative level 100 towns I have not tested. Path of Mists causes you to leave a trail of healing spheres behind you as you move, spaced 2 yards apart. These healing spheres last 15 seconds, so I will try this now. But I guess I'll have to reload my UI. I don't think that the other 2 talents right now are viable or competitive with Chi Explosion. So, yeah. My mouse double clicks still, so doesn't it work? I put it on D. Oh, it's active, okay. Ah, that's pretty cool. You have to be like moving though, or they don't go down. And they only last like that amount of time. By the way, like, this is draining my mana to have this active, and mana right now is extremely, like, crazy. Like, if you're using Rushing Jade Wind at all, that costs 20,000 mana per use. If you're using it on cooldown, which is, you know, about 5.5 seconds, you're using that, like, see, I'm already almost, like, boom. But you're not gonna be, like, playing like this. So that was interesting, but I don't see really why someone would use this talent. It's cool that it's like you can activate it whenever you want and then deactivate it. But basically, if you're not spec Chi Explosion, you're dumping all your Chi into Uplift. And right now, Uplift just isn't that good. So let's try Breath of the Serpent. Your Jade Serpent statue breathes healing mist toward you, healing allies in a cone within 20 yards for about 1800 every 1 second, split evenly between them, last 10 seconds. And this is a 1.5 minute cooldown, so we'll see. Oh god, that looks like something you'd want to run away from. But that looks so cool. Holy shit. Yeah. That doesn't seem really that strong. I don't know. Yeah, Chi Explosion seems like it's the way to go. I can't spec back into it for now, but yeah, it's definitely a lot stronger. So I have gotten my spell off cooldown and spec back into Chi Explosion, and I'll show you again what this looks like. See, that hit me for 24,000, and I get a hot for like 1/10 of that every second. So I don't know, that's pretty strong, and it's like all this like AoE healing. When I've done raid testing, Chi Explosion and Rushing Jade Wind are like top heals by a lot. And then if I'm on my level 90 monk that I've copied over, she has the Cleave Trinket, which scales up and is ridiculous. So that also is like usually in my top 3. I've seen it be number 1 before, but obviously at level 100 we're not going to be using that. The rest of our talents seem pretty much like, you know, the same as you'd spec on live. Chi Burst still is like very strong. Very useful on the raid encounters. I tried Zen Sphere on a fight, and it was pretty crappy. And Chi Wave seems pretty decent. And Chi Brew is still what you would want to go for. it's just, especially, like, now, like, you need the extra mana tea. It's the best, like, on-demand, like, chi talent. And it's also, like, those charges of mana tea are completely invaluable. I'm, like, drinking mana tea all the time. All the healers right now, I believe, have been having mana issues. I've only raid tested on my monk, but I definitely have mana issues on my monk. Because, you know, rushing Jade Wind, even using it sparingly, is extremely mana intensive, and, you know, we have it better than other healers for sure, because we have mana tea as a mechanic, and because we have chi, but it's still, you know, you're going to be caring about that kind of thing. And I think that's pretty much it. I mean, the spec has definitely changed a lot, but it's mostly, you know, like, our spells and stuff generally all work the same. One change is that they removed Glyph of Enduring Healing Spheres, and Glyph of Surging Mist now is only a smart Surging Mist if you're in Stanza of the Spirited Crane. So, yeah. And we have Glyph of Soothing Mist now. It's when you stop channeling Soothing Mist, you gain 1% movement speed for 1 second for every second you spent channeling Soothing Mist. And then Glyph of Renewing Mist is still the same thing. So, but there's not, like, a lot of great alternatives. So, yeah, detoxing. I'm not sure what's going on with dispels right now. I guess it just means you can dispel, like, twice every few seconds, because detox still has a cooldown. But the description on this is weird. It says its cooldown is increased by 0 seconds. But from what I've seen of fights, this is actually a glyph you'd probably want to use. For some of them, because, like, this is a wasted glyph slot. I should actually, like, plug this in, but my, level 90 Mistweaver doesn't have, like, all the new glyphs, so she might not have this one. But yeah, basically the playstyle I'm using in raid testing right now is keep renewing this on cooldown, which includes double casting it, like, on a different target sometimes whenever the multi-strike cooldown reset procs. Generate chi with Expel Harm, Renewing Mist, Chi Brew, and Rushing Jade Wind if needed. I use Chi Burst when needed, which I try to keep it on cooldown if possible, but, you know, sometimes you have to wait. And, try to use Thunder Focus Tea on cooldown, which is easier now because, you know, you don't have to worry as much about lining it up with, like, huge damage things. It's just, like, kind of a little bonus, it feels like, but, it also doesn't cost chi. And then, basically, I dump all the chi I generate into Chi Explosion on targets that need it. And because it's an AoE heal, I do overheal with it sometimes. Like, I, you know, target a melee or a tank with it. And, yeah, then I just hope that, like, they take some damage in that time. The cast times do kind of suck, like, on Chi Explosion, but Chi Explosion is, like, it definitely needs a cast time for, like, what it is. It's extremely powerful. I'm actually kind of expecting them to nerf it, but I'm hoping they don't. But, I mean, maybe to get, like, Renewing Mist and Uplift, like, improved and then balanced with the rest of the toolkit, but you're always going to be, like, either choosing between Uplift or Chi Explosion because they're both Chi spenders. So you can't be like Chi Explosion and then Uplift. You have to be like, you know, you'd have to generate more Chi if you wanted to use them both. But yeah, I don't Uplift at all right now. So we'll see if they fix that. I hope they do, because I would like our gameplay to involve some choice. But yeah, and the cast time on Uplift also sucks. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, also Life Cocoon, it doesn't seem to absorb much at all. It says like 100k on this, but I tried using it in retesting and it dropped off like in a second or less on one of the tanks at one time, and I just like kind of laughed because like it drops off quickly on tanks on live now, but that was even faster, I felt. So yeah, but a lot of like absorbs and things like that aren't incredibly strong right now. But the damage in raid encounters seems like very kind to classes that use HOTS and rely on like more like reactive healing instead of preventative like absorbs. So I mean like reactive like Mistweavers, Resto Druids, Holy Priests, those classes are all doing quite well, though we all have mana problems. And then Holy Paladins absorbs are still good, and I think Holy Paladins have decent mana. And then Disc Priests just aren't very good right now, which isn't really a surprise. I think they nerfed them quite a bit, but I'm sure they'll be back somewhat competitive by release. But yeah, so that's Mistweaver right now, and I hope this gave some insight to those of you who do not have beta or haven't watched many streams. And I will hope to continue playing this when Warlords releases. It seems like a good direction. I'm not really a huge fan of the crane stance thing, but yeah, I'm actually liking Mistweaver stance more than I expected to. So there's that. It's pretty good. So see you next time.